Before we continue with BattlefieldOne podcast, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing us for being a primary source for entertaining and educational discussions about this amazing FPS franchise that we all love. It means everything to us, and your unbelievable support is only motivating us to continue on this amazing Battlefield journey. Without you and our amazing patron supporters, this show wouldn't be the same. If you want to know more, please go patreon.com/TheLankySoldier or wait for the middle of the show for more information. How your support means everything to us. Thank you for listening to us, and please enjoy the show.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again. And
that was something, right?
That was something.
I'm sorry, you cancelled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed.
Oh, I would love
It
to
doesn't
see that.
work.
I would love to
Yeah,
see that.
again, like I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, casuals and spoilers, welcome to another episode of the best Battlefield-related podcast on the planet, Battlefield 1. My name is Tom, also known as the Lanky Soldier. I'm your host for this godforsaken show, and I'm being joined by two dear friends of mine. One of them represents the consumer side of the Battlefield gamers. Andre, how you doing?
The casual pleb. Hello, I'm fine.
How's Mirror's Edge?
Pretty fucking good, just as always.
Okay. And Sergeant Redneck of Florida's Alligator Platoon, Ray Edmunds. How you doing, Ray?
Hello!
Do you realize, Ray, that you haven't been on the podcast for 3 episodes now?
I know, I've been busy. It's been a busy little bit. I got a new PC in, so I had to kind of change my studio around, so my studio is now running on a new computer, which is why there's that now. That's a thing. So you can see me because now I have a better computer.
So, do you mean I'm more reliable than him now?
How dare you?
I mean, wait.
How dare
you already been on... This is your 3rd episode, right? On the Battlefield 1 podcast, Andre?
I'm not sure.
I think it's
You know,
3rd, yeah.
I was a very... How you put it? Well, I've been once or twice on the podcast and then never again. Usually I appear once a year or something like that.
Yeah, and then now you're low-key becoming a regular, funny enough.
I actually like it a lot. I enjoy recording and talking to you guys.
Well, he bought a microphone for this, just saying. So if anyone wants to listen to the Patreon story, how that happened, yeah, that happened.
There's a story.
Exactly. I invested in the quality of your content, so I should, commit now.
And he makes nothing in return except for pure unbridled
No. Listen, if he subscribes to Patreon, he technically paying himself.
Why do I pay myself?
Because I will give you the money for the Patreon.
A self-subscription is a return on an
Wait,
investment.
so I subscribe to you, give you money, so you give me money.
Pretty much.
Hell
Hey, I'm
fucking
fair.
yeah.
I'm being fair here.
Okay, I will subscribe to your Patreon after this, so I can start getting ROI,
So-
Return on
Nobody
investment.
said anything about a return.
It's a pay.
Oh, he
it's
did,
A,
he
it's a
did.
salary,
Might just
you know.
be a wash.
It's a
It's
salary.
a salary. Okay, my guy. How high is my salary?
However much you chip in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's how it works. Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
It's a reciprocal fee. You kick in $1, we pay you $1. Okay, that's one hand washes the other.
Yeah, that's fine by me, my guy. That's fine
Anyway,
by me.
continuing. Anyway, as you can tell by the title, it's gonna be a one controversial episode. Well, to some of you, but there's loads of context here that a lot of people don't know or understand. So we're gonna discuss all of that, and we'll do our best to explain to you all what that all means. It's less controversial than it sounds. So also, I want to welcome our new listeners that discovered our podcast. Thanks to Anders for being on the podcast last episode. It was amazing to have him on the show, and we had some really good discussions about Battlefield. So welcome new listeners. Thank you for enjoying our discussions. Hopefully you will enjoy the show moving forward. And I always recommend to listen to our older episodes of ours, because we have some really banger episodes that still amazing to listen, and some good discussions are happening there. So listen to all the episodes. They're really good and really interesting discussions. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for joining, and hopefully we're gonna keep you around. So before we continue with everything, the usual, a bit of housekeeping. Time codes. We have time codes. If you don't have a whole hour to listen or whatever, use time codes to listen to a specific topic you want. We have our social accounts in the description where you listen to this podcast. So just check the description. You find our socials there. We have a Google Forms document if you want to give us feedback, send us questions, compliments, insult, whatever is on your mind. Please use that Google Forms document. So I understand not everyone has a social media account or don't want to email us or whatever. Just click on the Google Forms document in the description and just start writing whatever is on your mind. It's fine. I don't give a damn if it's a shit post or a legitimate feedback or legitimate questions. It's fine. Just send it. Use that Google Forms document. It's there for a reason. And of course,
Let us know what your favorite form of punctuation is via comment.
Yes.
I have a quick question.
Go on. What's the question?
I don't have a single social media, so what are you linking for me?
Google Forms
Carrier
document.
pigeon service will be up and running
Yeah,
for those
Google
who are still stuck in the dark ages. As soon as we can break
You have a Discord.
$101 a month subscribers.
Right,
have a
you link my Discord?
Pigeons are expensive.
I said you people can find you on Discord, on our Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay, so anyways, and of course, speaking of Discord, if you want to join our little community that we have, join our Discord. We have like over, 30, 40 people there. So join us, talk to us, talk to Andre, tell him what kind of amazing person he is that I want to kill sometimes.
Oh, yes, of course. I have a message for our listeners, too.
Yeah, and of course...
I actually have a message for our listeners. Fuck
okay,
you.
go on. Oh, okay, thank you. Our listeners love that. Anyway, so of course, Patreon...
Can I say it or not?
Of course you did say it.
Well, you just did.
just
so
did.
what are we gonna do about it?
No.
Edit it out.
God, this show
My message is delete your social media. The less social media you have, the better your life will be.
I mean, that is absolutely true. If it wasn't for business, I wouldn't have a Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
It's still Twitter.
No.
And anyway, moving on. And of course, Patreon. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier for early access, ad-free episodes, and 40 plus episodes of exclusive Patreon show, live gaming gathering, where me, all of us three, all our friends and everything gather around and talk about some video games and anything that is on our minds. 40 plus episodes, amazing stuff. And speaking of Patreon, Andre, you and me had a therapy session yesterday on Patreon. And a Patreon
Wait,
therapy...
what did you say?
I thought you said you're gonna listen perfectly. I said that we had a therapy session on Patreon yesterday.
Oh, I thought you meant a terrible session. That's what I understood. That's
sorry,
why I was asking.
I apologize for my European freaking accent. Therapy session.
Therapy.
Wait
Yeah,
a
now
minute.
I understand.
You are both European as fuck.
He's
I'm
German. Yeah.
equivocally-
Yeah, he's
I'm
German.
confused as an American.
Yeah, I'm Lithuanian. He's German. Technically, I'm some sort of neutralized British. But anyway,
Yeah.
so me and Andre had a therapy session yesterday. On the news episode, we talked about the return of Verdansk on Call of Duty, some Titanfall 3 leaks that are probably fake as fuck, some Battlefield topics that we're gonna discuss today is basically an expansion of that from yesterday's episode, and some loads of personal stuff. My upcoming procedure that is happening this upcoming week that will change my life forever. His experience with a certain procedure, and we talked about our personal stuff, of friendships that we lost, friendships that we gained, friendships that we made stronger.
Getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah, that too.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
We talked about stuff, and I was really listening to that episode just to see how everything sounded, and I get it that some people might be confused listening to that, because there's missing context, missing details, and everything. So I'm gonna say this:
Yeah.
if we get at least 5 new patrons, I don't care what tier, even if it's a free trial, if it's 5 patrons, I will tell the whole story from the beginning to the end. I'll prepare the notes and everything, and it will be an episode on the end of the month. If we get 5 patrons, I think if you love good trash TV, talking about our personal lives and everything, do subscribe. Might as
Do
well
you like Jerry Springer? Here you go.
might as well monetize our
Just not as much fist fights. Which
yeah,
I was down.
might as well monetize our life, right? So content, right? So it was a good episode. I really had fun recording it, and we needed that. I think you and me both needed that, and yeah, it was fun, and it's exciting about the procedure that's gonna happen. I haven't told Ray yet, funny enough, but I'll tell you after the podcast, after this show. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's all the housekeeping and everything. So thank you guys for listening and all that kind of stuff, for the support. And let's talk about some Battlefield. I was thinking if I should do this first. Yeah, you know what? I want to address some comments that we got in the last couple of days on the BattlefieldOne podcast. And one of them basically was on YouTube. Forgot his name. You know what? I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say his name just because I don't want people to attack him or whatever. I'm just gonna keep. So anyway, he commented. He said, "Oh wow, something new to watch about Battlefield. Look inside. Danny on PC, Westy, Enders. BR is an integral part of Battlefield sandbox. How to make a normal person lose interest one-on-one." I usually don't ignore. I usually ignore comments like that. Like just like every shit post I can find, I usually ignore that because we've been doing YouTube for a while. We've been doing podcasting for a while. We had some really dumb comments once in a while, but this particular one kind of bothered me because this is the sentiment I'm reading on Reddit, for example, the Battlefield community and all that kind of stuff. So I read this kind of comments on a regular basis, and this bored me for this specific reason. Just because we have these people on the podcast, does it make anyone's opinion less valid? You know, if we want to be really negative about anything, it's okay. So Vesti is an Arsenal fan. That's a cardinal sin. Daniel PC has ADHD, so I needed a cat toy in front of him to keep it somewhat focused to be on the podcast. Enders is a particular person that has really strong opinions about specific gameplay mechanics and everything, and I understand Enders is not for everyone. And I'm pretty sure all these three people, also a former DICE developer coming on the podcast, I'm pretty sure all these people can say a bad, negative thing about me in a second. Easily.
You're gay.
Can you be more family friendly?
I'm sorry.
I would present this question first off.
Okay, wait. Just before you continue, I'm just gonna end this, or just so I don't forget. Anyway, all these three people can say all negative things about me, but the reason they were on the podcast is because they had something interesting to add to the conversation, and I love these people. Like, doesn't mean we all agree on everything. No way. All of us three have different opinions about Battlefield. All these content creators or influencers, whatever, all have different opinions about Battlefield. I have different opinions about Battlefield, but we all find a common ground about, Battlefield. I brought them not because, I wanted like a specific narrative going on for the Battlefield community to listen and everyone like listen to us. No, I brought them on the show because they were available. That's one. And two, they had something interesting to present, like a different perspective from they all have different perspectives about the Battlefield community. So I really hate the fact I'm not going to listen to this podcast because they had experts on the podcast. Okay, so who else do you want me to bring? Like, sure, I can bring Jack Frags, I guess. I can bring Flakfire. I can bring...
I mean, the forum and floor is open for damn near anybody who wants to come and have a sit down. It's always been that way. The thing is, and this is what I was about to lean into, the thing that kind of irritates me about this type of an opinion is one, it's always about the discussion around the franchise. It always has been. It's never really ever been about our opinions or whose opinions were right and whose opinions were wrong. I mean, there are things that we have discussed that were objectively right and objectively wrong, but in the subjective of things, we're very open to, interpretation and how things can evolve and change over the years. Point one. Point two, when was it that we have ever had these people on a regular basis?
That
is my big question. Like, we have these guys on one fucking time, and now all of a sudden we're in cahoots. Like, come on now. That's ridiculous. That is an absolute ludicrous idea in order to have. Let's be real. We had them on as guests because they wanted to come and speak their opinion and join the discussion. That was the whole point of it, circling back to point one that I laid out earlier. I mean, that's all there is to it. Like Tom was about to say, Jack Frags, anybody else, Battle Nonsense, if he would ever want to come out of retirement and come sit down and have a conversation with us, anybody from Neebs, it doesn't matter. We never cared. These people were always openly invited to come sit down. Now, whether we ever made them feel like they were or not over the years, that's our problem. That's on us, because, I mean, excuse me, there's some content creators that we have not really been nice to over the years. Hell, one of them came in and had a sit down with us. Bridges can be amended, times change, people change, for God's sakes.
Listen, Ray, if you ask me, I'm pretty sure I had beef with all of these 3 people at one point in my life.
At one point in time, like it was like fucking Civil War. You were either on one side or the other side, or you were this group or that group, and even then, as much as we played into it, it was still all bullshit back then, and it's bullshit now. It's childish. Just stop it.
And we just, you know what? We grew up. We realized it's dumb. It's stupid. Let's talk about Battlefield. Let's have fun. And you know what? I never imagined to be, on the same page as Anders, for example, because Anders is a particular person and everything. But you know what? We found a common ground about something. And you're like, you know what? We both realized, you know what? You're not a bad person, whatever. Like, let's chill, let's chill. Let's talk about something and so on. Like, it goes with everyone. Also, people think I bring, I can bring anyone on the podcast. No, some people declined that, which is fine. Some people said yes. And
they're allowed to do that.
Of course. And some people coming to us, asking to be on a podcast, but I have to reject them sometimes because I do this low-key interview with people that want to come on the podcast. I ask them, okay, what do you want to talk about, right? Because I don't want to bring, if you've been listening to us for ages, and if you subscribe to Patreon or you listen to all the episodes from decade ago, I mean, like, if you've been listening to that, like, props to you. You know that I learned my lesson about bringing guests on the podcast. I'm very particular and specific when it comes to that. I don't want to bring anyone anymore. I don't want to bring anyone just for the sake of bringing anyone, because there's a lot of people that want to come on the podcast, but they bring no interesting discussions to discuss. Like
or they just don't know how to do it. I mean, it's a long-form content thing. This is the thing that people aren't really doing a whole lot anymore. Everybody's videos is like 15, 20 minutes up once and done. It's very hard in order to get someone to sit down and have a full-blown, full-length conversation about shit nowadays anyway as well. Hell, it's hard for us sometimes.
That too, yeah. But at the same time, what do you, I want to talk about Battlefield. Okay, be more specific. What you want to talk about? Because we are a Battlefield-related podcast. You have to be more specific. What's your niche? What you want to talk about?
There's a lot of subsections to that too.
And all these people, Danny, Westy, and Anders, right? And the former DICE developer and other future guests that are coming, we all gonna have different opinions about something, and they all have different perspectives about Battlefield. That's the point. I don't want to bring guests for the sake of it. I want to bring guests because they have something interesting to say that we haven't said anywhere else. Like we can't cover everything. We always gonna have a blind spot about the Battlefield franchise. Maybe we won't see a specific. Maybe we don't see a specific perspective from our end, but maybe someone else does.
Or hell, maybe it's somebody who could challenge our perspectives and maybe get us to rethink and reshape some ideas to make things work a little bit better for everybody. But the thing is again, like I said, that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, that's kind of
the whole point of this.
Always stick to opinion and never see it differently.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Just be ignorant. That's how things work these days.
You know what's funny? So I replied to him.
The man's got a point there.
You know what's funny? I actually replied to him that, literally what I just said. All these people have different perspectives of Battlefield and what makes it fun. And this guy basically replied to me saying what you just said, Andre. Just basically, just be ignorant or whatever. Just stick with it. Wait, let me find the reply. He basically said that. What did he say? Basically, it's pointless to even change someone's opinion about something. I'm like, okay, so why does this podcast exist in the first place then, right? Why are you listening to a Battlefield-related show? And
why have debate in the first place?
Yeah. Why are you listening to this Battlefield show if you just don't want a debate? There's a reason why we have debates on the show, because it makes it interesting. It makes it, learn something and so on. If we don't...
Yeah, if we all just sat here for an hour and was just like, yeah, the game's great, there's nothing wrong with it, it's good stuff, and on to other stuff, it's all fun stuff, good stuff, yay stuff. You know how fucking boring that would be? Really, that would get boring really quick.
Yeah, so
You could just do 5-minute episodes and be done.
yeah, so that's
It's all good.
that's why I got really not triggered, but just annoyed at this comment because I get the same because I deal with the same problem when I was trying to promote the podcast on the Battlefield subreddit. It's like, oh, when did Westy play Battlefield for the last time? He pissed off the code and never care about Battlefield. Why should we listen to him? I'm like, okay, one, you don't listen to him. You don't have to listen. You just have to hear what he has to say. And two,
Is everybody just looking for a messiah? Is that
yeah.
Is that what everybody's
That's what
just
it
looking
is,
for?
right?
For this
That's
one true voice to listen to that they think that everybody thinks the devs are just gonna drop ears and listen to as well. I mean, it's not a thing anymore. That doesn't happen.
yeah,
I mean, it kind of can, but it doesn't.
and also like. He told me like, oh, you should bring people that know what they're talking about when it comes to who play the series and everything. I'm sorry.
And who is the judge of that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so he's like a true Battlefield fan. Define a true Battlefield fan. Anyone saw the movie Civil War that came out? Was it last year? Basically, well, like I'm an American. What kind of American? It's the same shit. Like I'm a Battlefield fan. What kind of Battlefield fan? You know, this is the same fucking mentality.
Do you just
Oh
play an
my
hour or two a
God,
week,
when I
or
hear
you got
that
yourself a
shit.
shit bucket?
Listen, when you hear that shit, your brain cells just
Right?
go
So
on vacation.
that's what I'm saying. So like, that's why I was annoyed about this comment. Like, and try to explain to him and everything. Because listen, we all Battlefield fans here. We all have different opinions what Battlefield is supposed to be. Yes, it's kind of on DICE's fault, reinventing the wheel every fucking time. But by them doing that with each game, they did gain a lot of new fans that
Not
appreciate
just that, it's keeping everything from getting
stale. Yeah. But it gained a lot of new fans. People enjoy Battlefield 1, enjoy Battlefield 4, Battlefield 2042. Whatever the case may be, whatever the game is, even Hardlines gained a lot of people that appreciate specific Battlefield game. We're all Battlefield fans. And
Hardline is one of the better Battlefields that they released.
sure, whatever, don't care. Point is, you're a Battlefield fan, Andre, and you enjoy Battlefield, and you have a different perspective of Battlefield is to you, and we all have different perspectives. But that's the beauty of it in a sense, because hey, we can have something interesting that this new Battlefield game that's coming out. I think we all can like from what we've seen, it looks really good so far. So far so good.
That is true.
There will be some stuff that we don't agree with, yes, but that's okay. As long as the game is good, and it will attract people. Like oh, this game looks good. I want to play it. You know, it doesn't matter if they're outside the Battlefield community or not. Like it doesn't matter. As long as we all having fun playing Battlefield games, that's all it matters. That's all it matters.
No, my opinion is more important than yours.
No, yeah, sure.
I am right, you are wrong. I know what is good for franchise.
Yes. So yeah, I just want to address that comment. There's some other comments that we got, very nice ones actually. I don't want to focus on negative ones. So people really enjoyed.
I'll put it this way before we move on. Look,
Yeah,
I appreciate the passion behind that, because that is what shows developers that a franchise is speaking to people and you know what have you, all that other good stuff. But at the same time, you got to be open to new shit. You have to. You gotta be, otherwise it becomes samey and it's stale, and then something else comes along that actually tried to do all of the new things, and it blows everything else out of the water. Excuse me, it sounded like Rick there for a second.
You really sound like Rick there.
And you know what? You just gotta fucking try new shit, man. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta grow a pair of balls, and you gotta actually try. You gotta try to do the shit. Because if you don't do the shit, Morty, you're never gonna get anywhere, Morty. You're just never gonna do it. You're never gonna get anywhere in life, Morty. You're just gonna be fucking stale. You're gonna be stuck in a hole for your entire fucking life. Is that what you want, Morty? Is that what you fucking want?
Do you want Battlefield to fail, Morty?
You want Battlefield to fucking fail, Morty? You want it to be fucking good? You want it to be good shit? You want to drive a tank through a fucking building again, Morty? I want to fucking drive a tank through a building again, Morty.
Okay, you know what? We should do a fucking series where fucking Rick is playing Battlefield.
Oh, you stupid son of a fucking sniper. What, do you think I can't calculate the fucking ballistics? And watch this, a fucking BAM! It's scientifics, bitch.
Do you know that Rick and Morty is in Fortnite, right?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny when Rick came out in the game, and basically, look at Morty, look at my 90s I'm cranking 90s, Morty.
Hey, look at me, Morty. Hey, check me out, Morty. I'm fucking doing the thing, you know? Whoa, look at me over here doing the thing.
Anyway, okay. So, I want to address that comment because it kind of bored me because I've seen comments like that on a regular basis. And so, like, you know what? Let me address this once and for all, and hopefully I don't have to address this again. If you're not happy that we have a particular person on the podcast, I'm sorry. But this podcast exists for a reason. It is to gather all the different opinions we can from different perspectives and different people and so on. That's the point. You know, I don't want a random guest coming in and just saying the same shit that we said 10 episodes ago or something like that, or some regular shit like that is just so obvious.
Like,
no.
I mean, confirmation
We
bias
don't
is
need
nice.
more yes man. We need no
pretty
man.
much, yeah. And, yeah, so yeah, that's all I want to say. And also, all the good comments that we got on the last episode, thank you so much, really, I really appreciate that you guys enjoy our conversations and everything. Means a lot. There's more good comments than we got bad ones. That's all I'm gonna say. And thank you so much for it. Right.
Hell yeah.
Right. Okay. So moving on. Quickly some news, I guess. So apparently there's a new playtest happening this Tuesday. We're recording on Saturday. So this is today is 12th of April. And apparently there's a new
I'm pretty sure we won't be invited.
You know what? I think I said on the last episode, it's a blessing in disguise because we're not bound to NDA. We can talk about it, so it's fine. It's fine. And we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, that means we can talk about the leaks.
That too. But also,
But you know why I won't be invited?
why?
Because we talk about the leaks.
Oh, because he never applied. I just remembered.
Oh,
Because he never applied. I just fucking remember.
you scumbag.
Fucking idiot.
I mean, well, good on you.
But anyway, so some leaks, right? And it's a blessing in disguise. And there's a comment from David Sirland that we're gonna discuss later that basically confirms perfectly for us. Like, it's fine that we're not in the playtest. It doesn't matter right now, which is fine. So anyway, some playtest leaks or people that data mine from the files. Also, before we continue, have you seen the concept art for the new game?
Some of it.
What do you think?
Okay,
Just quick thoughts.
I mean, look, based on everything I think I'm pretty sure I've said this already before. Based on everything that I've seen so far, it's a thumbs up from me. But I can't really like go, oh my god, it's fucking, I'm gonna pre-order that shit. Where's my wallet? I can't do that because I'm not like that anymore. I mean, there was a time when FOMO mattered to me. I just don't care anymore. I'm a middle-aged dude now. I ain't got time for that shit. And plus, my money is worth more now to me than what it was at one point in time. So if you want that $70 hairs from me, and I guarantee you it's going to come out for $70, let's not fucking kid ourselves on that front. That's going to be the price point. To me, that's 2, 4, 6. It's fucking damn near 3.5 hours of my day you want for that game.
So
in money.
Yeah. So far,
I want to see more. I want my hands on it, but like we're about to get into, it's kind of a good thing that we haven't really had our hands on it, because then I couldn't sit here and convey that opinion.
Yeah, so I will not go through every leak that happened because there's so much.
Dumb.
And it's also not in the important. Like, there were leaks about, oh, here's the gun, oh, here's a vehicle, here's a sledgehammer that slashes, like you can smash through wall, like it's the finals. You know,
Right now, the leaks say to me, do you know what Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 used to look like? Yes. Here you go. That's it. That's all we've got so far.
Updated Battlefield 3.
It's just
Battlefield 4,
updated
yeah.
Battlefield 3 and 4. Cool. Until I get my hands on it and I can see how the pew-pews pew-pew, I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go through some interesting ones that I found really interesting. For example, Temporal, famous data leaker, whatever, guy that goes through the game files and he just basically says, hey, what's in the game files? Doesn't mean it's gonna come or not.
What's his name again?
Temporal.
Oh, that guy still exists?
He came out dead in the last, like, just because this new game. He was quiet for 2 years and then, like...
Wasn't he around for Battlefield 5 or something like that?
Yeah, he was.
I remember him.
Yeah.
A game so powerful, it resurrected long-thought dead YouTubers. I mean, I
Right?
saw even a tweet that maybe Battle Nonsense might come back. I mean, that's kind of cool.
I would love to have Battle.
Oh, I remember Battle Nonsense as well. Did he stop?
He's got a lot. I mean, from what I remember, he's got a lot of stuff going on. So if
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't,
he has a
I
lot of
won't
stuff, yeah.
blame him. But I mean, again, I fear like he would be getting into a lot of the samey content all over again and find himself back in the exact same hole that he was. And if that's why he's hesitant about coming back, bro, I don't blame you. I don't blame him at all.
Why did he not switch to another game or something?
I mean, he probably just plays something else on his regular basis.
I'm on his YouTube now, and his last video is 1 year ago.
He left a public post on his YouTube channel in the comment section, whatever they call it, community section. He basically said, I'm not going to explain what he said because it's private and everything.
It's personal, yeah. There's no
yeah.
need to get into that.
Anyway,
Let's just leave it at that.
I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, long story short, I would like to have him on the podcast because also there's some opinions I don't agree with him regarding Battlefield, but that's fine. I would love to have him on the podcast and have a discussion, like a debate and everything.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that doesn't mean we don't. I mean, hell, like I said,
I respect the
we used
dude.
to hate Westy back in the day, and we had the dude here. I mean, it wasn't like we had him on back when we were at each other's throats. Hell, we sat next to each other at fucking EA play.
Anyway, it's all
It
respect.
doesn't really matter.
It's all respect between us. I respect all these people that. Can you do fucking Rick? Anyway, it's only respect between all of us, and I love it. Anyway, moving on. Some quick leaks. Just so Temporal going through the files and everything. Some other people are going through the files and they're discovering some stuff. So here's some interesting tidbits that I wanted to just quickly mention. Apparently, propaganda from Battlefield 4 and telemarket from Battlefield 3 might feature in the game. Like this, it's again doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean doesn't mean it will happen.
If propaganda comes back, I will be a happy guy.
Yes, me too.
I will be a happy guy.
If they
Okay, I have a quick question.
go on.
Or I don't know if it's a question yet, but I guess you'll find out once I actually start talking about the question that I want to ask.
Yeah, go on.
How hard is it to port maps?
Yes.
The thing is, listen,
Yes.
I
it's
really
hard.
don't care if they have the same graphical quality. Just get the map running on your engine
Well,
and use it. You already created it. I mean, yeah, you don't have to put a map from 1942 in because it will look like garbage, but just take an
That's
old
the
school
exact
map
same
from
reason why you
Battlefield
really
3,
can't
4 or
just
whatever.
drag. Yeah, that's.
let me explain.
I get where you're getting at. I really do, and I'm on the same page. Like, yeah, get it running and get it fixed up as you go. The thing is model fidelity and texture fidelity and all that shit, even since Battlefield 4 days, it's almost quadrupled. So it would be like, let's take an image. You guys ever, and I know there's people out there that have seen this, like Star Trek Voyager suffers from this. There's other TV shows that back in the day that were shot in native 480 digital that cannot be upscaled at all. They just can't. Same thing with models. With 3D models and textures and assets and shit like that, at some point or another, if it's taking you the equivalent amount of time in order to upscale something to fit modern shit than it is in order to just rebuild it from scratch, then what is more logical to do in that instance?
No, I don't say upscale it. Use it how it is.
No, okay. So let me explain because there's a more than
Are
an
you
example.
fucking kidding me? Not these days, dude. No, you can't.
There's a more than example to this. Call of Duty Warzone. So they brought Verdansk back, right? You might think this is exactly the same Verdansk from 2020.
It's not.
They literally had to rebuild the whole map from scratch because the way the engine works, the way they have the technology, the way they have the tools and everything, same goes with these maps. So if they want to bring propaganda and telemarket back to this new Battlefield game, they will have to rebuild them from scratch. Yes.
Now you can use those original assets
as references,
guidelines
yes.
for new builds.
You can use
That
them
makes
as
it
references,
easier.
yeah. which they'll
Because all the
probably
reference
do.
is done for you. All the
Yeah.
reference and concept is done for you. You just have to, as a team, come together and figure out what you're going to change and what you're going to update for what the game is calling for now. Like, if you don't want the statue that's in there in that square, you want to have that thing fallen down now that time has passed. Or the wall behind it that people used to camp and throw C4 out of doors at other people. I wonder who did that shit.
So yeah, so
Anyway,
if they're bringing these maps
you
back-
got to come together and make those changes. So you can't just copy pasta a thing. Again, like we said earlier, sameness and doing the exact same thing, it's not work.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You keep dying there
I'm dying
from cringe. Anyway, but like me and Ray are saying, you will have to rebuild them from scratch. You need, like, it's Modern Warfare 3.
Modern problems call for modern solutions.
The Modern Warfare 2 remastered maps from last year's Call of Duty. They had to rebuild them from scratch. Yes, you had a lot of references. It saved a lot of time on making new maps because, like, you don't have to, design a new map, new layout and everything. You already have a reference. You know what you need to make. So you basically build on that. You start from scratch and see, like, you build that from that. But everything had to be built from scratch. So if these maps are coming back, these will be built from scratch for the new game. Because certain mechanics also will not work on the, with the old game. Certain, fidelity stuff, the technology, the code they use to render assets and everything, that also changed. Also, I think I remember correctly, one of the developers told me that they can't even open Battlefield 4 editor at DICE right now because of, like, I think you and me, Ray, talked about it like many episodes ago, that they can't open the editor anymore to edit Battlefield 4 because the license is expired or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so something like that. So
There's
they,
that too. There's legal
License
shit.
is expired.
Yep.
for the for
Let's
the
say,
editing
for
tools and everything.
instance, they need a version of Maya, a specific version of Maya, in order to open those legacy files, because not all new iterations of editing software are capable of opening old files, believe it or not. Just ask anybody who tries to run Adobe software or any Autodesk software. Excuse me. That being said, so what happens is they have all of these old files, and while they have all of the assets and everything under their house, they can't actually open the damn things because the company stopped paying for the license for the software in order to open that shit. So now you're talking about Maya, probably 2010, 2011, 2013, possibly.
Which is more than a decade ago.
Which is now over a decade old.
Yeah.
Can you even get them? The version?
No.
I mean, probably it's from a pirate base somewhere, maybe.
I mean, if they really absolutely wanted to, they could, but just not in a legal way.
Yeah, so
Unless they work something out with the company, if the company even still exists.
Yeah,
Hell, it could even be an individual that wrote a piece of software or a plugin or a hook or something like that that they can't even get in touch with to say, hey, could we use this again? Because it's being used in order to make money, so they have to get in touch with these people. It has to be done for legal reasons. It sounds stupid, but it's a thing.
It's legal. That's the thing. Someone has to be compensated. Someone has to be paid, and so on. It's like
That's the reason why they don't really ever do anything with community created content anymore nowadays. Like, a lot of people have asked me over the years, like, why they won't use any of my gun models. Well, the reason being is because they would have to figure out a way to compensate me for it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not on their payroll. I'm not under contract with them. They can't put a leash on me. They can't put a noose on me. They can't put a freaking they can't silence me. But then at the same time, they can't use my content either for that same exact reason, because then they would have to get in touch with me every single time they would do something with that content, unless I sold it to them, completely, rights free, which nobody ever does, and that's sane.
Yep, that's all it is. And it's nothing to do with game development.
Just legal shit.
It's just normal legal stuff in any workplace, any business and everything. That's normal.
And for the amount of time and effort it would take in order to get into that legacy shit, again, you might as well just start from scratch.
Yep.
It's not like they can't play the game and see and take screenshots and get concept art that way, you know what I mean, and get reference that way. It's not like all avenues are lost to be able to use some of that old stuff. Just again, you just got to start from nothing. Surprise! This was not time-stamped. We hope you're enjoying the show so far, but we need to stop for a second and tell you about some important stuff. And now that we have your attention, it's time to tell you all about our amazing Patreon that is helping us keep the show going. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier.
Some Patreon exclusiveness. We here at Patreon would love for
You sound like every nerd in all the 90s TV shows.
Battlefield 1 podcast was rebooted in March of 2023. We learned a lot of lessons from our previous shows that consisted of 41 episodes, and we've been building amazing foundations for the future with this current show. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield-related podcast available on Spotify and anywhere else. We've also had the honor of being listened to by DICE, Ripple Effect, and other developers as well. Now, we want to share even more with you through our Patreon.
And I've never seen her. So I will be crying and yelling, and I will not be the same person I am right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that kind of emotion. I know we're emotionally close and everything, but I don't think we're that emotionally close.
Yeah, that will be an experience of its own.
We want to thank everyone that has joined as a free member or subscribed to our Patreon in the last year. The support is greatly appreciated, always was, and always will be. It's amazing, and it only motivates us to continue with our Battlefield journey. By simply becoming a free member or even subscribing to any paid tier, you're not only supporting the show, but you're also getting a lot of content back in return.
Right, because Call of Duty gets so annoying sometimes, I actually got so desperate I installed League of Legends again.
Oh my god. The perks of any tier is you'll get ad-free early access to all of our future episodes. You can already listen to the previous episodes ads-free as well, simply by being a free member. There's no more waiting, no more interruptions, just pure unfiltered Battlefield content straight to your ear holes, from our mouth holes, and anywhere else. It's amazing, isn't it?
The only reason why CTE did as well as it did back in the day, guys, is because it wasn't locked down to secrecy. Those that couldn't participate were still able to see what was going on. That's the point that I'm getting at right now.
We're also giving you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into making the Battlefield 1 podcast or any other content we produce, from planning sessions to recording mistakes and everything in between. You'll get an insider's perspective on how we bring each episode to life pretty much from start to finish.
And the reason why I'm saying
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault, Ray. You ruined the whole show. We need to cancel it again.
Just gotta can it for another 8 months again. Just appear out of nowhere with
we need to cancel it again.
Colors.
Ray, what the fuck did you do?
And that's only Battlefield. We're also offering access to our exclusive Patreon podcast series, The Live Gaming Gathering. This is a show where friends and special guests get together and talk about everything from the video game industry to movies and whatever else is on our minds at that particular time. With more than 40 episodes already available, there's hours upon hours of content for you to listen to.
All right, I think we need to move on because we've been kind of on this subject for about the last 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
We got a couple of things in order.
Are you feeling better now? Let this
Yes,
team off.
I do feel better. Oh no, wait, one more thing. For example, Angela. We were in discussion.
I'm not going to mention any names.
Trust me, these are some of the most fun and amazing conversations we have ever had on the show. Because it's just us being us, relaxed and actually having fun. Almost like you're sitting alongside us with the conversation. Yeah.
So the reaction from the Fortnite community is like, okay, every time we see a Cybertruck in the server, it's our mission to drop everything we're doing and send that player back to the lobby.
We also believe in keeping our patrons informed, so we post monthly recaps to let you know what you probably missed during last month's episode, and we're making sure that you're not missing anything important. Just recently, we opened a brand new Discord server where people can talk to each other and get all of the latest updates about our content or the Lanky Soldier channel. Find the link in the description of this episode or at our Patreon. No subscription needed.
You are, as a player.
Have been measured.
Yeah, you've been measured.
Because we're confident that you'll love the content we're creating, we're offering a free trial that you can use at any time. We believe we're making good content that will make you stay, and we would not be offering free trials if we didn't think so.
I've seen a lot of people literally get excited, you know what? This looks very familiar, clearly ripped from somewhere, but damn it, that looks good.
So, if you want to support the show and get all of these amazing extras, head on over to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep delivering the content that you enjoy. Thank you for being part of the Battlefield community, and thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you on our Patreon. Now, let's get back to the show.
Okay, moving on. I hope they bring those maps back. It would be so cool. But anyway, moving on. So, quick mentions. There's a gun. So the gun customization apparently for this new game is gonna be like wannabe pick 10 system from Call of Duty. So basically, what it means that specific items you want to equip on a gun, I guess, or character, depends. I don't know. We're talking about gun customization, so I guess it's only for gun. Certain attachments will have a certain value. So if you want like I guess an attachment that increases bullet velocity or damage or whatever the case may be, probably cost will more, and a bigger map will cost less, something like that. So apparently it will have some sort of value attached to each attachment. And honestly, I don't mind that. It's something different for once, and I think it kind of
I hate it.
You don't like it? Okay, well, how so?
Because I am an American. If I want to have everything on that fucking gun, I goddamn well better be able to.
Well, would you rather have this system or have a limit of, like, let's say 5 attachments on the gun?
No limit.
Well, you need... No, so it's okay.
Side grip with vertical foregrip with laser sight and ACOG flip-on scope with cantered iron sights.
Basically all maximum. So yeah, I
if I can bolt it somewhere on that gun, I want it on there.
Andrew, what's your opinion about this?
The crazy Florida man is coming out of this person.
You give me a fucking M4 carbine with a grenade launcher underneath of it, but fucking duct tape a shotgun to it somehow with a laser sight on both guns and a flashlight. I also want the ACOG with the roll down 2x scope and the iridium forend sights.
I wonder what
with
people
a vertical
think of this
foregrip,
episode.
please.
My opinion
what's
is
your
And will that pass the ATF?
Shut up, Ray, let him talk.
I really don't give a shit. The only thing that I would actually want to see back is the system that 2042 has, where you can change your attachments on the fly.
Oh,
and
the plus
I heard
system.
about it.
Yes.
Last time I heard, it won't be in the game. That makes me
Boo.
sad. But I really don't give a shit how many attachments I can have on my gun.
Do you care how you attach them? Like, is there like...
No.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing. I really don't care as long as...
Just let me shoot people.
Yeah,
you know.
Let me attach the attachments I want. How you let me attach those attachments, I don't really care. Like, if it's like a value to it, fine. If it's like just 5 attachments max, fine.
Listen, I already have attachment issues. I don't need any more.
Good one. Good one. Speaking of attachment issues, apparently there's no weapon restrictions for the classes. So whatever class you use, you can use any weapon you want.
Nice.
That's not a good idea.
I don't mind it. That's what Battlefield 2042 is.
Oh no, there's gonna be people parked at the back of the map with infinite ammo and long-range snipers that are only gonna get maybe one or two kills the entire fucking match, and oh well.
Exactly what I thought, yes.
Oh well.
I personally like it because if we restrict weapons to classes, you know what? Here's my opinion. It worked back in Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, made sense back then in those games.
Okay, listen,
But-
shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
What do you want?
If you don't care about this, then you had no fucking right a couple of episodes ago to complain about medic and assault and support having access, not having access to some gadgets. Fuck you.
Did I complain? No, I think I was proposing the idea of merging support and assault into one class. Give assault all the support class abilities like ammunitions, I don't know, C4 or some crap.
Which didn't they do?
I don't care.
And have a separate class as medic. Right now it's assault, engineer, support, and recon. And basically the support class gives you ammo and health at the same time. So they basically merged medic and assault and support into one class.
Support, yeah.
Which I don't mind, but I've seen a lot of people actually disagree with that. Because apparently it makes the assault class the selfish class, and you can basically just roam around, don't interact with other classes on your team, and just be fine. And my basically proposal was like, okay, give all the LMGs, give the ammunitions and everything to assault, because assault, they need ammunitions to, attack objectives, replenish ammo, all that kind of stuff, be the aggressive class. But also have a separate class that is called medic, basically there to support the assault class with health and all that kind of stuff, right? That's my proposal.
Sir, M249s are not deployed in assault operations. They're deployed on lines in order to support assault operations, so they would need to stay with support.
See, this is why realism doesn't.
Those guns are designed for suppressive fire for the most part.
See,
and just mowing down from an entrenched position. They're not designed to be fucking running around with like we do within game.
Well,
So if we're gonna throw that argument out there, then we need to go with it and just say the LMGs need to just stay with support where the ammo is and just leave it at that. I don't think they should have health capabilities. I think medic should be a thing.
Yeah.
Or medic or assault. Medic assault should be what it is. Assault is traditionally always assault rifles. Well, guess what? Fucking medics don't carry LMGs.
Bad company too, they do.
No. I am speaking to the people who want to sit there and go, well, it should be more like the military.
Oh no! Don't. You know what? Fuck realism. Fuck realism.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna say we can say fuck realism, but at the same time, if we want to have those touches that keep the franchise what it is, then these are where the concessions need to be made. Support is support. It's always been support. Support has always been LMGs. And I will sit here with my cane and scream at the clouds as long as humanly possible. Assault, medic, and recon, you can fuck with those classes all you want and kind of intermix and change around and argue about different roles and where they're deployed, but support is support.
You're wrong. Support is not just LMG.
Your face.
It's
yeah, because
I didn't say it was just.
No, it's also carbines in Battlefield 4. Shut up.
But I didn't say it was just. I said LMGs are just. I didn't say support as a class.
My also opinion is that LMGs are not sexy. My also argument is that LMGs are not sexy weapons to use.
I mean, depending upon who you are, sometimes they have I like them for
I like the idea.
Sometimes
you know, I have something in my head that I would like to articulate about LMGs. I actually agree that they are unsexy to use, and you know what I have in my head? You know, as men, we can use our schlong to piss wherever the fuck we want, right?
Yeah.
And an LMG
let him finish.
An LMG feels like you're spraying left, right, and center with 3 fucking streams coming out of your penis, while an assault rifle or a carbine, for example, is one precision stream where you hold your penis straight.
Okay, so what's your
So an LMG is I'm pissing on everybody. A shotgun is I'm pissing on
Oh,
everybody in that particular direction. An assault rifle is I'm pissing on that person.
No. LMG is pissing on everyone on every range in every direction. Shotgun is close quarters, my guy. Literally up your ass.
Right. Well, you piss on everybody in that particular area in that particular time. An assault rifle is I piss on that person all over, and a sniper rifle is I'm going to attempt to piss on that person on this particular body part.
Exactly. You're with me.
Attempt. Oh yeah, I totally get the euphemism. It's perfect.
It's going to be an amazing short.
Because, I mean, you think about it, how does everybody like to use their LMGs, huh? At the hip, just kind of hanging off there, just going wild with it.
Exactly.
There you
Battlefield 5 had that, right? With MMGs, right? You could not ADS with them.
You couldn't ADS with them. And, I mean, the thing is there's small form LMGs that you can. I mean, there's tons of videos out there of guys shoulder firing M249s and assault rifle and LMGs of that sort. But those are short barrel LMGs that are specifically designed for squad operations. When you're talking about like entrenched long barrels, you're not running and gunning with those. Those need a bipod.
True, but yeah, I'm indifferent about weapons being not restricted to classes. Anyway, but that's the thing. Battlefield Labs exist. Let's test all that out. Let's test the idea. You know, Battlefield Labs exist for a reason. Let's test that out.
Maybe I'm wrong and the old ways are bad.
Maybe. Yeah. So, also, moving on, character customizations like Battlefront 1, basically Battlefield 5 improved, which is fine. So that means you can change the helmet, you can change the jacket, the top, whatever. You can change the pants. Probably can change something else, which is great. I mean, it's perfect. That's what we want. You and me, Ray. That's what we want. We want character customization that's like somewhat individual to you. You know, you can change the helmet.
Give me Bush Wookie.
Yeah, you can change the helmet. You can change the jacket. You can change the pants. It's fine.
I have an opinion on this.
In good or bad?
I guess that's up to you. I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, go on.
I really don't like that you can mix and match your shit.
Is it because
I feel like Battlefield is the kind of game that should have full-on uniforms. My opinion.
Of course, the German wants uniformity.
I don't know if it wasn't a leak. I think it was an artist that posted different full body uniforms of different soldiers, countries, or whatever, or I think timelines over whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
whatever,
it looked amazing, and I feel like you should have full uniforms and not just have green pants with I don't know, a leather jacket and a hat that screams.
I mean, my guy, have you seen some of the war footage from Ukraine lately? It's damn near like fucking Fortnite.
Are you serious?
I'm dead fucking serious.
Okay,
like there's guys running around out there looking like they're fresh out of Cyberpunk controlling.
He's not wrong. I've seen some really crazy footage.
I have seen some dudes running around with fucking heavy machine guns and goddamn bunny ears on their combat helmet because uniform standards don't exist, and it's fucking great.
If the war is brutal, right? If you need to fight for your survival and you want to look fucking beautiful by doing that, it's up to you, man.
Fucking go for it.
You go
Get
for
your
it, man.
kills
You
in.
defend your fucking country. Be a fucking badass.
Do it.
You know?
Damn, okay.
I've seen
my thoughts.
You need to look that shit up, brother.
I've seen some
I'm
crazy
amazed
shit,
you
yeah.
haven't seen it, yeah.
Listen, the only thing in my life that exists right now is going to the gym and working. I have no outside information at all. The only thing that my English is I'm shutting down. Help. The only thing that dass ich mitgekriegt hab, verdammte Scheiße.
Yes, you
I don't know the English word for it. I don't care.
Okay, all the Germans will understand.
The stock market, because my stocks went down.
Oh,
I'm
he's
minus.
He mad.
Fuck off. Yes.
Okay, what's your point? Okay, do you care about the...
I haven't noticed anything that's going on the world in the last...
Okay, that's your point. Okay, cool. Do you care that... do you care that you can't tell what class the player is running just from the silhouette, for example? Do you care about that?
I have a meme answer and I have a real answer.
Let's go with the meme answer first.
Sometimes you don't even know in real life what gender is running around, so yeah, I don't give a shit.
Fair enough. And what's the proper answer?
I see enemy, I shoot. I don't care what class.
Well, I was like, what about your friendlies? Do you care about that?
Red plip means dead.
Yeah. Do you care about your friendlies?
No, not really.
Okay. Because when
I put it this way, the easiest way to solve that problem is just your friendly icons on your mini-map, they're the class icons. With a directional indicator or some way in order to point to let you know which way they're facing. Then problem solved.
I mean, you want a not so visually pleasing answer?
As long as it's family friendly.
Just put a patch on their arm, like a medic symbol or a class symbol, and leave it there. It doesn't matter what.
Have their class symbol over their pip.
Actually,
class symbol over the name. Done.
Yeah,
Easy
or
fixed.
something like that. Yeah, that's also a good idea.
Just put the class symbol above their name when with their screen name that hovers above their head and the triangle pip that points at them. Just put the class symbol big enough that you can see it. Hell, color code it even. You know, if you want to have blue, like maybe there's shades of blue or green. You know, whatever. Okay, just figure out a way to color code it. Just keep it simple, stupid.
I like Andrew's idea actually. A lot of like those milsim type of players would actually enjoy it. Like have a patch on the soldier that you can tell which.
Patches as well.
That's actually a cool idea. I never thought of that. That's a really cool.
But
class.
Here's the thing: if you look back at some of the classes, like they kind of had that. It was just very hard to see unless you were like right on top of them. Because think of it, your average ID patch is like 3.5 by 5 inches, which is like that. look if you can see the size of the box that I'm making is barely the size of a business card. You think you're going to see that from 20 feet off in the middle of a fucking firefight?
You know, the thing is, my reasoning behind my thought is that it would add more to the immersion, I guess, you know, because if you
Which
have
I like.
the name...
Yeah, I like that. I actually like that. That's a cool idea.
I agree. It needs. I would say both. But then again, I'm pretty sure they've been doing
worlds,
that.
Right? You need some immersion, but you also need practicality, if that makes sense to say.
Okay.
Agreed.
So yeah, character customization that's coming, and it's probably gonna be very interesting, and you'll be pretty free to customize your character the way you want, which is fine. Okay, I'm skipping this one now. If we have time, we'll talk about that at the end, but maybe we'll come from that discussion. But anyway, here's some comments from David Sirland that came out just recently as he was talking about Battlefield Labs. I quote, "We're asking for a specific testing of combat pacing and as new players as new players as well," in quotation, new players. "It's partially because we want your untainted opinions as new players, and partially because we want to collect data on what we call firefights, separate from undisturbed one-on-one fights, for all types of guns. It is pretty shallow at the moment," which is talking about the gameplay in the labs right now, because that is what the pre-alpha testing can truly get us valuable information or valuable data. We'll go much deeper as we move forwards in the move forward in the developer quality metrics, hitting alpha, beta, etc. If you spend a bunch of hours in the pre-alpha, in the Battlefield Labs, forming detailed opinions, we'll be wasting your time, quite frankly, because many things will change before we reach alpha. I think the next patch will show you just how much things can change in a short amount of time, and thus you have to start over of sorts of each larger patch for... What did he say? And thus you have to start over of sorts each larger patch for a while still. Smiley
All right,
face.
so what he's saying there is basically for people like us to be playing it and analyzing it, it would be a waste of not only our time, but their time. And I get exactly where he's getting from, because I play a lot of early access and pre-alpha build games. Things change from 0.01 to alpha build, which is 1.0, I guess, in some cases. It depends upon how they do that shit. But anyway, a lot of shit changes, and they're working at fast paces, breakneck speeds. Things are constantly moving and grooving, and everything is mostly focused in what the team wants to get done, to present to the public and tweak it along the way. The reason why they do pre-alpha and they get it out there in the public is to try and, like what David said, get as much data in as they possibly can about how guns perform specifically in one-on-one fights, how specific map layouts work in one-on-one fights. Plus, on top of that, X number of player v X number of player full-on gunfights and chokeholds and shit like that. So what they're saying is they're trying, to get as much information as they possibly can, as quickly as they can, and move from there. Now, that tells me in a way that what's going to happen is when they finally get to what would be considered stable, which is when big changes stop. They stop doing wild swings and things start becoming more into fine-tuning. That's when they're going to start presenting it to players like us and some of the olders, and they're going to start allowing more people to come in, I think. And they're going to be a lot more selective about it, because then they're going to go, okay, now let's help us fine-tune the machine. Because I feel like Sirland knows that that's where everybody tends to shine, is the fine-tuning of it. And if we look back at the first round of CTE, back when they did it with BF4, it's the truth. We had BF4. We had a launched stable product for the most part at that point in time, and we were trying to fine-tune everything in it with CTE. We were fine-tuning the guns. We were fine-tuning the DLC guns, balancing them against the older ones, helping them with the feedback on that. Vehicles, any vehicles that they added. The fucking hover tank was a huge discussion and a huge thing in of itself.
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that shit. There was this huge debate on how fast the damn thing should rotate. because its rotational speed does not match that of a standard tank, and that's why for the most part those standard tanks will eat those hover tanks alive. It's a thing. It's a balance thing. So that all had to be discussed. I mean, even the community map in of itself is a proof that they can just throw out a mostly completed idea at us, and we're capable of helping them fine-tune it to cater it to what we're after as a community. And I'm backing them on it. Let him do it. Let him cook.
So
if this is the way Sirland wants to do it, let the man cook.
Remember how was it 20 minutes ago I said that it's a blessing in disguise that we don't have access to the alpha, to the Battlefield Labs right now? Exactly what I mean. I said a couple episodes ago, and I said it right now. There's no point for us to play the game right now because, when they were last playtest, or 2 playtests ago, doesn't matter. They were focusing, the whole point was to focus on 60 Hz servers. And like I said on that episode, if our CT experience taught us anything, when they mention, we're gonna test the netcode, that means it's gonna be a laggy ass mess, not because the netcode is bad, but it's because the developers are pushing the game as much as they can, see what breaks the game. If you have hundreds or if not thousands of people playing the game, and you can test your netcode, test the limits, what you can do, push it as much as you can. And of course, it was a laggy mess. The playtest, there was skipping and lag and everything, but that was expected because developers are pushing.
Pretty sure a server caught on fire.
Yeah, and that was the point. The whole point, just to push the game as much as you can, see what the game engine can take, what the game itself can take, and see what works, what doesn't. Maybe we can push it a bit higher, what needs to be updated, and so on. That's the point. That's the whole point of Battlefield Labs. And so there's a little civil war happening right now in the Battlefield subreddit because people are discussing what Battlefield's supposed to be. The gunplay doesn't look good. All that kind of the map is too tight or not too big. Supply stations are good or not. Squad outlines. No, that's not immersive enough. That's fine.
You're just completely missing the whole fucking point of everything right now.
All those
it's just ridiculous. But that's Reddit for you. I mean, let them.
All those conversations
too, so.
All those conversations that happen on the subreddit right now regarding anything regarding this new Battlefield game doesn't matter in the long run because we said it as soon as Battlefield Labs were announced.
Hold on. Some of it might.
Some of it, yeah. You have to,
but not all, because they can make one update and just every single word of every word that they've said is just up on its head.
True.
So it does matter, but at the same time, it doesn't. Just like us right now. This matters, but at the same time, it doesn't. Because in a fucking month, if they put another update out or more leaks come out, everything could change. Yeah. We could start hating what we see.
That's also true. Yeah, that's actually true. As soon as they introduce, that somewhat finish their vision for the game, and we don't like that vision, well, that's going to be a big problem.
Anything could happen. I mean, hell, at any point in this is the other point, too, that people don't understand. At any point in this, if EA feels like they're not going to make their money off of this, for the amount of money they're investing in this, because they still technically don't have a product sold yet, they can just go, nope, and pull the plug. Or tell them to run with whatever the hell they've got to make some money, and then pull the plug. Because let's see here, what was it that they did that to not too long ago? What was it? It was an MMO franchise that they were gonna do, and it didn't.
Which was it?
Yeah, there's the point. Nobody fucking remembers the name of it. I can't even remember it off the top of my head because it was like a month thing and it was gone. Concord?
Was it? That was not EA.
No.
That was not even MMO, so I don't know what you're referring to.
No, but it wasn't. No, it was BioWare, but BioWare's EA.
Oh, yeah. Dragon Age.
There you go. That's it.
Dragon Age. Here we go. Dragon Age Veilguard, or what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was supposed to be an online MMO or something like that. Then they switched it to a single player game. Anyway, but yeah.
So that's the other thing I'm going to say to the community. While I may or may not have their ear, bide your tongue on how much you piss and moan about live service. Because live service may be the only thing that keeps this shit going, friend, to do what we need to do. What we want to do.
Yeah, and there's loads. I've seen loads of people like, oh, we don't want live service, we just want a Battlefield game.
Tough shit. Charge me $10 a month for a fucking battle pass, EA. I don't care.
As long as the game is good, that's all it matters.
As
right?
long as it's good.
Yeah, as long as it's good, it doesn't treat me like shit. You know, it like treats me with respect as a consumer. What's the problem, right?
Yep.
And speaking of Civil War, like the Battlefield community talking about Civil War, so as Battle Royale details got leaked, like there's like, oh, the plan, like the quad, like there's gonna be quads, trios, solos, duos, right? Like all that kind of stuff, right? And some details about the Battle Royale, and people's like, we don't need a Battle Royale in our game. That was one of the comments, top comments, and I'm like, and me and Anders on the line.
Let it go. If nobody plays it and they drop it and it's a waste of time, then nobody played it and they drop it and it's a waste of time. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Me and Anders
shitting on it anymore.
Me and Anders talked about in the last episode, like, you can't say our game because that guy got upvoted to Oblivion. And people like think that comment represents the whole Battlefield community. No, I'm sorry. I personally want the Battle Royale because I think it's the natural progression for the franchise. Also, the Battlefield franchise is a sandbox game. And also, this myth that people love to think, oh, why they're putting resources into Battle Royale? Well, one, it's not DICE making the Battle Royale. It's Ripple Effect, separate studio. Well, why can't they work on the multiplayer with DICE? Okay, so now we're putting more developers, more budget into one product that we don't know if it succeed or not. So you're putting the risk of the company high. Well, sure, it's not EA is gonna go bankrupt, but business not might boom. You know,
doesn't Call of Duty already do it that way anyway?
There's
no fucking way that the exact same people who did the single player are the same exact ones who are working on Vanguard, the same ones who are working on Zombies, are the same ones who are working on every other specific high-tier catered mode for that game. The complaints about this don't make any sense to me either, because it's not like it's the same people who are working on classic multiplayer that are now divvying their time up in order to work on Battle Royale. Battle Royale is its own thing. Now, they might share notes and pass notes amongst each other, and that's not a bad thing either. I mean, that's a thing that should definitely happen. Hey, we're fucking with the ballistics on this, so we don't want it in order to be drastically different from one game mode to the other. And you want it in order to be roughly the same. I want to be able to pick a rifle up in traditional multiplayer and it performs the exact same way it does in fucking Battle Royale, because that's what my brain goes to with a game. Not a game mode, a game. The explosives better perform everything needs to work the exact same way across the board. So they need to pass notes as far as that goes. But to sit here and go, well, they're divvying up resources, in a way, yeah, they are, but in a way they're really not.
But you also have to look at
studio.
Yeah, but you also have to look
at
at
it's not a team that's being broken up. It's separate teams working on separate parts.
Yeah, you also have to look at it this way. Do you think Ripple Effect, that rebranded themselves from DICE LA, do you think they want to be the guys that do whatever DICE tells them to do? No, they want to be a separate studio. They want to make their own thing. Yes, they're working on Battlefield. Yes, they're working with DICE on the new game, including Motive and Criterion. But they all have their own things they want to focus on. Like, DICE is making the multiplayer and the foundation of the game. And Ripple Effect is making the whole Battle Royale section, which is different from multiplayer itself. Yes, the mechanics will be the same. Some stuff will be the same. But the whole
progression and everything else would be different.
There will be some differences. Maybe the running speed is going to be a bit slow. Maybe a bit faster. Maybe something.
See, again, that's where I'm drawing a line. No, you need to make the base game, and these need to be branch off modes of that base game. If you make the experience so drastically different from one to the other,
not drastically, yeah,
you're going to turn people off like me, who jump into these modes once in a while, and those little subtle differences that get me killed and aggravate the shit out of me, I'd hate to say it, kids, they're going to make me not want to fucking play that game anymore, because guess what? That's exactly what happened with Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, I expected a completely different experience of a first-person shooter, and what I got was something completely different. It was a fucking heart attack simulator, and it just wasn't my bag, so I stopped playing it. Same thing with other Battle Royale games that are that drastically different from their base games. Stop fucking doing that shit. Make the Battle Royale game work within the base game. Stop dicking around with the mechanics between the two, because if it's that drastically different, it's just going to piss me off. It's gonna piss other people off. I'm an average asshole.
You know what's funny? Actually, I was talking to Andre on the Patreon episode on the last we did. I was telling him how Verdansk returned to Warzone, and what they did, they separating. It's still the same client, still the same game, but Battle Royale and the multiplayer, they basically still the same, but there's minor differences right now that's like separates them from, like, they're still built on the same foundation, built on the same, progression of weapons and everything. That's all the same. But what they did, minor differences to the Battle Royale to bring the OG days. So they, for example, in multiplayer, you run so fucking fast, you unlimited, you can do whatever you want. It's on crack. But they imported that to Warzone, and it did not work that well. So what they did, as they brought Verdansk back, they slowed a little bit the character movement a little bit to make sense for the game. So they lowered the sliding by 5%, the sprinting by like 5% or something like that. Small adjustments like that. The game is slower than multiplayer, and there's some differences in balance, yes, but that's still the same game. But the differences are so tiny, you can barely tell that they're like not the same. And it works.
I don't know about that one.
No, it works.
And the reason why
it works really well.
Because a lot of people who do min-maxing, who understand what min-maxing is, the maximum amount you'd be able to jump, the maximum amount you'd be able to slide, like they're calculating and they're basing their firefighting it. Because I do it too. If there's a game with slide mechanics in it, I will figure out exactly how long I can slide and get away with it, and I will base gameplay and everything around that. So what you're saying is those minor calculations don't really add up and aren't really seen. Yeah, in a way they are. They are felt by the player. The player probably just doesn't really 100% notice it, and that's my problem with it. I notice that shit because I pay attention to that shit.
Yeah, good players will notice. But
it's irritating. So my counter argument on that one is okay, well for example, we gotta uptick the movement speed because the map's a lot bigger. No, the fuck you don't. Make vehicles more accessible, or you shorten, or you make the map a little bit more dense.
Right. That's what happened, Ray.
Fix that.
That's what happened. So because the map is different, the Battle Royale works differently. The movement was 2 weeks ago on Warzone. Movement and multiplayer was 1-to-1 to a T, and it did not work in the Battle Royale section, but that's fine. The mechanics are still there, still good, but we need a bit of tweaking to make sense for the Battle Royale section. And they also updated the vehicles to make sense. They removed certain stuff like the balloons, for example. You can't traverse the map so fucking fast that the rotations don't mean anymore. Instead, they updated the vehicles to make sense that you can rotate with vehicles. You can't jump on random player without them knowing that you're jumping on them and just die like a bitch. Like the loads of complaints about that, but they did that, and it's fine. Right now, Warzone is in the best state it's been in the last 5 years. Honestly, I can't believe it. 6 months ago, it was a disaster. Right now, it's fantastic, and multiplayer is still it's still Black Ops 6, not my cup of tea. But that's fine. It's still a great multiplayer experience, and you can go between them just fine and get different experiences, but still feel like a home. You're not gonna be like, oh, this is cringe. This feels so different. No, it's still gonna be the same game, and it feels
great.
Right,
and that's what I want for anything and everything that's Battlefield related, and I'm really hoping that's what and I'm kind of seeing that's exactly what they're doing with all of this early playtesting and everything right now. What they are trying to do is get the base foundation down, set, and pat so that there can't be any wild, drastic changes. So here's what I'm getting at. Let's say Battle Royale, multiplayer, and everything, all these other games, they're going to share the same gun, okay? They're going to have pretty much roughly the exact same guns. Battle Royale might cut some explosive guns out, like rocket launchers and shit like that, but I mean, that's a given. There might be gadgets that change around. There might be different gadgets for Battle Royale. There might be, shit like that. But at the core of it, the firearms is what is the most important thing. The firearms and the base vehicles themselves, okay? If a tank gun is going to fire a tank shell at a specific velocity and it moves this much farther across the map, it causes this much damage, it causes this much splash damage. What I think they're doing is they're getting all of that hard set and coded in a way that if the core team wants to change how a gun is going to behave, it can be done in a way that just filters out to the other modes, and it's not something that has to be really fucked with or could be fucked with by the other teams. And what I mean by that is okay, let's say it's finding out that a shotgun spread is too wild, or it's too wrong, or it's just not doing what it should be doing, or you put flechette rounds in or something like that, and it just wildly changes the shotgun. And they need to fix that. Well, now it's a once and done thing, and across the whole entire game, it's fixed and done instead of multiplayer team found it, got the fix done, and now that fix has to filter over in order to Battle Royale, where, Battle Royale can't do that because they do this weird hook shit with shotguns and change their shit around with shotguns, so now they've got to figure out how to apply that fix to their shotgun. Do you get what I'm getting at? They're trying to simplify this, I would hope, is what I'm gleaning
I hope
from
they're going to
this.
simplify it. But also, you have to remember the Battle Royale will have a different TTK. Because of shield, for example.
Right, which you can just do with a shield and a health pool. You don't have to fuck with the gun.
You'll probably have to change some numbers once in a while because you don't want to make... Because if you add shield on it, that means the TTK is like so much longer. And
right,
it's not going to be fun in the long run.
If gun do 100 damage, player have 100 hit point damage, gun hit player at 100 hit point damage, player dead. If gun do 100 damage, player have 100 hit point and 200 hit point shield. Shield take 100 hit point damage, player take no damage. Do you get what I'm getting at? This still keeps it simple. You're changing time to kill by fucking with player health values instead of fucking with ballistics.
Yeah.
Player health values is easy, once and done. You can have a different player health value for a different game mode. Hardcore does it all the fucking time. Hardcore is a 50% hit point value.
It all depends.
Okay, you want to go to Battle Royale and double the time to kill? Okay, multiplayer basis is 100 HHP for the player character. Okay, you base everything else up and down from that. Hardcore game mode 50%. Okay, that's 50 hit points now. That what happens? You're definitely getting one hit killed by that gun that I just mentioned. If you go into Battle Royale and you want to double the time to kill, base time to kill, you double the base player hit points. Yeah, now it takes 2 shots. You've now doubled the time to kill. Simple.
I fully agree with you. As long as it all depends. It's at the end of the day, it's all number game. It's all balance and everything.
And
so how the game feels and everything, that's all it matters. But anyway, again, this is alpha. Battlefield Labs. We don't know. We'll see. Things will change. We'll see. When the time is right, I think everyone important, including us, will play the alpha and we'll give
everyone
our feedback.
Important.
I mean, that sounds demeaning. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That sounds demeaning, but I'm sorry.
Not just that. That implies that we're important. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I like to feel important once in a while.
You like to think that.
Hey there, listener, me again. Sorry for interrupting you again. But if you're already this deep in this episode, I presume you enjoy our conversations. So why not check out our older episodes after you're done with this one?
Don't be a doobie.
Do a podcast assault, right? We had some amazing conversations that are still relevant to this day, and we don't want you to miss them out. If you haven't already, go listen to our interview with big content creator you probably know, Westy, for example, who was more than willing to have a conversation with us about Battlefield.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, "Angel does it again," and
that was something, right?
That was something. But you know what I mean? Like, the two didn't work. Like, you could have done specialists.
Or our recent interview with former DICE developer James Kono, who shared some amazing behind-the-scenes developer perspective on Battlefield franchise.
Listen to this podcast. It's awesome. I love Lanky. He's been a great resource to the Battlefield community for years now.
You're the only person that actually gave any compliment to me about anything regarding that. Long story short, we have some amazing episodes that are worth listening, and we're just happy that you're enjoying our discussions about Battlefield. And again, I want to thank you for listening, and please enjoy the rest of the discussion we're having right now. Anyway, okay, so on the last topic, just to end on this, as the title of this episode said, like an hour and 20 minutes, we're finally talking about the topic. So...
Oh, damn. It's about time, huh?
I know, right? So let's give it an hour, 20 minutes, I guess. Skill-based matchmaking.
Boo! I'm just kidding.
No, say before we can. What's your opinion about skill-based matchmaking?
I don't. I think it's something that should be optional.
Okay. What's your opinion, Andre?
It's garbage.
Okay, so that's our opinions. I also think it's garbage, in a sense, but with context. So, skill-based matchmaking. People went data mining through the game, and they found a residue, I guess, or something the algorithm bits for the skill-based matchmaking that will be in the game. And the skill-based matchmaking basically has details like it tracks your score per minute, win-loss ratio, kill death ratio, input device, and other stuff that people could not figure out because they mean something else, but something specific. But the game tracks that. Right. So that's...
Maybe Battle Log's coming back.
Well...
I'm just kidding. That's a fucking naive thought.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I agree.
But they need to track you for all that shit. Because remember all the shit that.
Yeah.
So might not be SBMM.
So, as that got leaked, everyone and their mothers instantly went full negative mode. If there's skill-based matchmaking, I'm not buying the game. Fuck this. Multiplayer is gone. The first-person shooters are dead and so on. Full apocalypse levels of negativity. And I do understand where these people are coming from. I get that. Because if you play Call of Duty, like me, sometimes I have to deal with skill-based matchmaking, and it annoys the shit of me that some people get a different experience than me because I'm playing against fucking top players in the fucking world, and it's annoying to play a ranked match every time because it's not ranked. That being said, it's annoying. And I agree with these people. But the context is Battlefield always had skill-based matchmaking since what? Battlefield 4?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Battlefield 4 did not. Whoa.
Yeah. Listen.
It had all. Now shut the fuck up and let me talk. It had auto balancing. There's a big difference between skill-based matchmaking and being a poor fucker and being sent to the other team because you just fucking died and you're the only one that the system says
you didn't play on console, Andre. You didn't play on console.
Fuck consoles, my guy.
Doesn't matter.
Fuck
Listen.
the consoles.
They
They are the reason why games are so bad these days.
Well, talk to the
That's
game
the
developers.
reason
Yeah, talk to the gaming industry.
Why am I goddamn casual these days?
Talk to the
fuck
gaming
you, there
industry.
was no
But
skill-based
anyway.
There was no skill-based matchmaking.
Let me
I believe
finish,
in
you
that.
fucker.
Let me finish.
My
okay?
podcast, I'll kick you out.
I don't care. Yeah, go on, kick
Okay,
me out.
finish
I'm
your
gonna-
thought. All right, finish your thought.
I'll
All right, finish your
return the
thought,
fucking-
Andre. Finish your thought.
Okay, listen. Back in the days when we still had our beautiful server browsers,
Okay, yeah, go
custom
on.
servers, people had their own plugins with their own
Okay.
balancer.
Okay.
Sometimes with algorithm, sometimes
Okay.
with, oh, if this person is on that team and that team is winning, just shuffle them in the other team or whatever. And also admins who can just force other players onto the other team, yeah. But still, if they implement a skill-based matchmaking that is as aggressive as the Call of Duty one, go fuck yourself.
Okay. Fully agree with you. Fully agree with you. That being said,
But I still say that Battlefield 4 didn't have a
It did.
skill-based matchmaking.
because you
No,
can
it
open
doesn't.
Battle.
It had an auto balancer that just made sure that you had the same amount of people
Right.
on the other teams.
Right. Now listen here. It had, because you can go to Balog, you can check all the stats that this leaked skill-based matchmaking tracks in the new game. The same stats that you tracked in Battlefield 4 are being tracked in this new game. You can log into your Balog and can check the stats. When you quick play on Battlefield 4 on console, it was not aggressive. You're right. It was a balancer. It put, oh, you have this kill death ratio, you have this. We'll put you on this team and so on and so on. It was not aggressive.
I am pretty certain Quick Match basically just threw you into anything that was open that you clicked on and went, I want to play Conquest, and you there.
Yes, exactly.
And if it needed to
was
balance
very
the fucking
basic,
server
yes.
out, it did.
It was very
It wasn't
basic.
skill-based. It was just, it was fucking lottery, if anything. The lottery was a bullet to the face.
As time went on, that became, especially I think with Battlefield 5, because Battlefield 5 was it Battlefield 5 that they did not have the server browser anymore? It was quick play.
Fake news.
Yeah,
Fake
I
news.
think it was. So
Fake news.
Battlefield always had, well, always for the last 10 years, had some sort of skill-based matchmaking. But
Fake news.
the difference is, it was never aggressive. It was never the defining factor where you're gonna put on a team or against who. like Ray said, it was very basic, and that's all it was.
But I don't believe you that it was skill based. I don't believe
that. Being said, David, because
if I jumped in with a squad and we had a squad join of at least, because you remember we used to be able to break squad join back in the day on consoles. We had 8 people squads, and we could just fucking own a server.
Yeah, but when you're joining,
you can still do that with 4 people. The server still has to balance you with 4 people that are coming in. It doesn't matter what the skill is of the 4 people coming in. It didn't matter then.
Yeah, you can do the same thing in Call of Duty.
Skill based.
You can do the same Call of Duty if you're joining with friends and you fully the server with players or in your friends. Yeah, duh.
Right, but COD skill based off the person who clicks who's the party leader.
No, it puts everyone together.
Bullshit.
No.
It's party leader.
No.
Last 2 years they did.
No, it's not.
Anyway, so
I can tell you what it is. It's the
Bullshit.
high skilled. It's shut the fuck up when I'm talking, bitch. It's the high skilled person where the skill based matchmaking is matching you up with, because I remember that friends of mine that I played with, we played a whole evening of COD, and they just came to me and say, Andre, you are going 45-5 and we go 5-25. It's not fun playing with you. Can we play without you? You know.
Yeah, but isn't that natural thing that when you put everyone together, the skill level is gonna go naturally because you have a player that is naturally high? I mean,
I don't know. It's a pain in the ass
because
for
the
my
average will
friends.
go up regardless.
Yeah, I don't care. But let me just ask you the question: is it good to punish your friends because you're a good player?
No.
See?
Yeah, I fully agree with you in regard. Like,
And
I think
that's why
all of us,
SBMM is garbage.
all of us 3 here agree that SBMM can be absolute garbage when done wrongly. We fully agree with that.
But I've yet to see it done rightly.
I feel like there's no way to do it right if you have, let's say, your 4 friends. You have one guy that's crazy good and one guy that's crazy garbage. One of them will always have the worst experience, probably. So you can't really skill it out. You know, you need good enough players so the good one is not pub stomping everyone else. And yeah, you know what I mean.
Although, okay,
You know what I feel like this
there's
is?
no way to make it right for everyone. It's just like in real life, you know, not everyone is gonna agree with the opinion. You can't people please everyone, and one day you'll just get fucked in the ass.
but
I don't
also,
think it's opinion that is what it's coming down to. I think what they're doing is they're looking at the analytics and they're going, well, on the spreadsheet it says, but the problem is the spreadsheet doesn't reflect what actually happens and what the player feels when they're playing the damn game. Yeah, the spreadsheets
exactly.
could say that the stats with having a good player in the same squad as a bad player will just balance themselves out, because the good player 9 times out of 10 will get the kills that the player is constantly dying will lose. And yes, mathematically that's pretty much true. I mean, if you the good player goes 45-5 and one of your mates goes 5-45, I mean, mathematically that balanced each other out. Technically you didn't kill anybody in the entire game, but at the same time you're not accounting for what that good player is doing at the same time. Their score metric, what are they capping flags? Are they throwing med bags down? Are they supporting the team, or are they just lone wolfing and going out and getting 45 kills and only getting caught 5 times, probably in a reload or something fucking stupid? That therein lies the thing. The spreadsheets don't tell that tale.
they
And
can't
that's
track
where
that though.
You want my opinion? I feel
really-
like video games become too sciencey, and
Yeah, I agree with that.
they want an audience that fits everyone.
You're
that
trying
the
to
game is
distill
for
it.
everyone.
They're trying to distill it down to a perfect file, a perfect formula, and it doesn't work.
It's funny that me and Anders were actually talking about on the last episode. That's what David Sirland said in one of his latest comments. They're trying to make this Battlefield game accessible to as many people as possible. I get it.
Listen, okay, no, fuck you. Fuck you, shut up.
Admirable goal from him.
No.
What? Go on.
I feel like with this statement, the game will already be bad when it comes out.
I disagree with that. I think it can work. Well, okay. Well, was Battlefield 3 not accessible enough for you, for example?
It was accessible.
Yeah, and
but you never heard them. Oh, we want to make the game accessible as possible. No, they had a vision for the game. They made the game how they wanted because they played the game themselves, and they want a fun game, and that's it. If someone didn't find it accessible, they just didn't play it.
You also had, were you active on the internet when Battlefield 3 was announced and the alpha was happening, and loads of articles and YouTube videos coming out saying that Battlefield 3 is just a Call of Duty clone? Back in 2011, I read all of that. I read all.
I remember that.
Yep, I remember that.
And
so
I
we
still stood
10
my
years
ass
later,
in the
14 years later after Battlefield 3.
crap.
Yeah, 14 years after Battlefield 3, we go back to the same circle, same story beats, same thing. So now people complain that we don't want any COD shit in the new Battlefield game, when Battlefield 3 was called a Battlefield clone. And like,
well, yeah, herein lies the problem. What really is quote-unquote COD shit? Is
exactly.
it sliding across the ground? Because there's been plenty of other games that have done that. One can
and
argue
Battlefield 1
Titanfall
had
was
sliding.
doing it.
Battlefield
Titanfall
1
perfected it at first.
I don't know about that. But anyway, Titanfall is amazing. But Battlefield 1 had sliding. I'm pretty sure Battlefield 5 had sliding. Battlefield 2042 has sliding. Also, I've seen comments like me and Anders were making fun of that someone was complaining about hit markers. That, oh, Battlefield doesn't need hit markers. I'm sorry, hit markers were in every fucking Battlefield game since came out, so I don't know what you're smoking. So there's some...
Yeah, you could turn them off if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's some really weird comments I've seen that people don't understand what they want from a Battlefield game.
I'm wondering if it's the bots going stupid.
Maybe. But anyway, from all that conversation that we had, so skill-based matchmaking is coming. And that's the thing. But because all this apocalypse, all this drama that has been happening on the community with that, David Sirland had to come out and say this. Public state announcement. 2042 has skill-based matchmaking according to this definition. This is what I tried to detail above yesterday. It has a factor of skill, it's used, but ping and time to game is the top priority. And in a 64-player game, our want is to spawn a server that starts as soon as possible. Thus, the skill factor is negligible. I can't pronounce that word. Thank you. In terms of sorting into servers, also with a party that is more or less ignored. Just to clarify, saying skill-based matchmaking is bad is not really useful. What you really want to say is heavy skill-based matchmaking is where the skill separation is a priority is bad. But that doesn't make the skill as a factor in matchmaking bad for wholesale. On the contrary, we need a skill value to make balanced teams, no matter the ranges of skill total on the server. It wouldn't be fun if all high skill players ended up on the same team, would it? Just to calm things down a tad, the fact that skill value is in the matchmaker, it's been there since start being into matchmaking and so on, so it's been in all the, like I said, in Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 and so on. Doesn't mean we're going with a heavy-handed SBMM solution. Quite the opposite. Battlefield is at its best when you play all-out war modes with friends and different types of players. We do not want to limit that. All of this is also true, skill being ignored for team balancing, regardless of which way you want to join the server. For reference, did you feel like the Battlefield Labs playtests were heavy-handed skill-based matchmaking? None of us played this playtest, so I have no idea, but that's what he's asking those players. No? Question mark? Then good. It's the same matchmaking and settings we'll use in this upcoming future in the game. That's why he replied to all this drama about the skill-based matchmaking. So what he's basically saying, since the matchmaking thing existed from early days, it's always been there, but it's how they approach the skill-based matchmaking. If they want to go heavy, that's what people will hate it. But if they don't go heavy, and it has the most basic, skill-based matchmaking just to, like, somewhat, balance the teams, put them in somewhat reasonable...
Things will get potentially lopsided and bad, and I get it. I mean, we're all kind of on the same page as far as what he's saying is it doesn't need to be so restrictive and so heavy that it just dumbs the game down for a lot of people. But it also, at the same time, it needs to be there in order to make sure that it's a challenge, because wash matches really are fucking boring as hell.
Yep.
I mean, maybe the first 2 rounds are fun, but after that, it's kind of like, all right, guys, come on.
No, for me, it's 1 round is enough.
I mean, it's still. I get where he's coming from. I mean, at the same time, I'm based on what he said there. It sounds like he's getting where we're coming from as well on that front. That we don't want it so intense, but at the same time, I want it to be optional too. I mean, but we don't want to split the player base up. See, this is where the whole roundabout shit comes into play. We don't want to split the player base up. We don't want the skill-based matchmaking in order to be so damned extreme that people are sitting there waiting forever if they happen to be casual plebeians with a 0.3 killed KD ratio, and everybody with a 4+ is just happening to be playing right now. It's a hard thing in order to come to the middle ground on, and I get where he's coming from, and it seems like he's trying like hell in order to find that middle ground. And if Battlefield 4 didn't really feel like it had a skill-based matchmaking system, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna say it. That's why I don't believe that it had it. It just didn't fucking feel like it did.
To
so
be fair
if
to
that's
us,
the case, and
we
it was
played-
that good.
Yeah, go on, finish.
If it was that good that we didn't feel it, then that's what they need to do again. I don't want to feel it. That's all I'm saying. I don't. If it's there, I don't want to notice that it's there.
It's because the reason we did not feel it back in Battlefield 4 is because we were on PC and we played the servers that are controlled by administrators and so on. They sort out their own team balances and everything.
Right, but even on console, if I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
But then again,
on
when
console
we
was
really
barely
got seriously,
yeah.
when we got serious into
yeah.
console, a lot of the matches we dealt, they were organized as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree that Battlefield 4, for example, I never even thought about it. But it was there. But you're right, we never thought about it because like it's just like whatever. As long as the game is going and it's not a complete disaster, it's fine,
Then that's the route they need to go. Make it so I don't notice it then. Just make it so that it's such a light touch that it does what it just needs to do, and that's it. If you want it in order to be so that the skill-based matchmaking is a lot more intense than that, then my suggestion is to allow us to have the tools that we did back in BF4 days and allow us to do platoons and organize matches and shit like that again. Give us that power back.
God.
Give us that power back.
It has been a while, my guy.
Yeah, I
give us
wish,
that power back. Give us that community building power back.
I really want platoons back.
That is one thing that I have screeched from the fucking heavens has just been absolutely absent since BF1. And even in BF1, it was just a neutered version of what it was in Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4, it was so robust. It was like the best community building tool that we ever had. And they've never been able in order to even scratch the surface of it. Bring that back. Bring that community aspect back. Bring back spectator mode. Let us film these things. Let us build entertainment off of these things. For God's sake, stop being such a tightwad and so tight-ended about this shit anymore. It's time to stop. 7+ years of just not giving a fuck about your community and not letting them make cool content like we used to be able to do that would generate hype for your game. I mean, it's just shooting yourself in the foot for no damned reason whatsoever. If you're not going to dedicate a team in order to do that type of shit and make content like that, or if you're not going to work with content creators to give them the tools to do that shit, then just let the community have the tools and let them build that shit up on their own. Just let them do it.
I remember there was a developer, I think it was like, he worked at Electronic Arts. He was responsible for making sure that there's minimal friction between developers and community, right? So the big focus on the community and everything. And I remember he quit EA because he just could not handle dealing with higher-ups regarding that. Because they gave a lot red line, a lot of no's and everything. Because like, oh no, we can't do that and so on and so on. And my dude was just trying to increase that engagement with the community, so community feels engaged in the game development of the game in the future, updates and all that kind of stuff. And it was a lot of red tape. Hopefully, from what we've seen from Battlefield Labs so far, the important people that make these decisions for the future of the game so far understand what Battlefield wants. Of course, we like everyone, like I said many times, not everyone was gonna be agreeing on everything. That's not gonna happen. But props to David Sirland, and other developers working on this game. I think they can find a nice middle ground that everyone's gonna be like, you know what, this is not exactly what I want, because Everyone has a different perfect battlefield in their heads, but that's
But
fine.
it is close enough.
Yeah, but we can find a middle ground here. Like again, like going back on the same thing. Why did I bring Westy and this Danny NPC or former DICE developer on this podcast? It's because we can find a middle ground. You know, we can discuss something and find a middle ground that makes Battlefield feel like Battlefield. You know, doesn't matter if it's a battle royale, multiplayer, 5-on-5 experience, whatever the case may be. If it feels like Battlefield and it has that Battlefield spirit in it, who cares? Who cares? You know, and if this game is successful, you know, and it resonates with the, you know, casual audience too, sure, you might get frustrated that sometimes, like, you have a shitty team on once in a while. I get that. You can't avoid that. But that's just people. You know, that's what you get for playing online multiplayer games. But if they're having fun...
It's not that it's that what you get. It's just an inherent risk.
Yeah, but you can't avoid that. It's like when you involve other people in your entertainment, you're going to have some shitty
Right,
moments.
just like I can avoid a car accident by not getting in a car. I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Like, you know, you're in the same space.
Same energy. Stop being... Just stop being poor.
Like, listen, if people are having fun, and we are having fun, I see no problem whatsoever. Like, skill-based matchmaking, right? If we don't fucking feel it, and it feels fair, and it feels somewhat entertaining and random in the sense that, hey, you're not gonna get the same match every fucking time, great. That's all it matters. Like, you know, if you're good, and the game encourages to be good in the game, and you get rewarded for being good, great. Perfect. And if you're just a casual that just want to shoot some people, have fun, chaos and everything, and you're having fun and all that kind of stuff, great. Everyone wins. Everyone wins. Game is fantastic. Sold gazillion copies. EA is happy. Let's continue with seasons and live service and everything. We're not gonna be douchebags. Let's pump out some cool cosmetics for people to buy. You can customize your character. Everyone's having fun.
And let's generate some fucking fun.
Like, oh, the game is fun and people want to spend money on a fun game? Who knew, right? Who fucking knew?
And on that note, I think we ought to get to the point where we ought to wrap this up because we're pushing for time. This has been a long one, but I mean, it's a worthwhile one. It's been good shit.
So, any closing thoughts? Yeah, any closing thoughts as we end the podcast?
Absolutely none, because any thoughts that we can have are asterisk subject to change.
That is true. Couldn't have said it better.
Okay. So, on that note, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining, listening to our ramblings. Thank you. I'm really curious what people are gonna think about this episode because I'm really.
I would love to send a medal to the motherfuckers who sat through this whole thing. Props to you.
Please, if you sat through the whole episode, let me know. Send me a Google Forms note. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Something for like join Patreon as a free member or as a peer, like whatever. Just let me know.
Whoever made it this far,
congratulations.
And listens to this gets £1 by Lanky.
That is supported by Andre's support on the Patreon.
No. That's your private fund.
I will kick you out of the podcast. I'll be happy about it.
Go claim your free £1.
I will take your fucking microphone and I'll sell it.
Yeah, okay, so you can pay 140 people £1.
Yeah, exactly. 140 people £1 from Andre's sold microphone.
And then I can't be in the podcast anymore.
That's fine. You have your phone. We'll use shitty quality. It's fine.
Yeah.
The good old potato days.
Okay, listen. You think that this microphone has good quality compared to what I used to have?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you enjoy my sexy voice, yes?
Yes.
Okay, it's good.
Okay. So thank you guys for listening.
Please stop whispering in my ear. That shit's fucking weird.
Do you want to whisper your way out of the podcast?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this length of time. We hope you find the ending to this to be quite chilling and relaxing, if that. You know our socials and everything, what have you. And if you turn the volume up, I'm sorry.
I have another thing to say. If you like the whispering, maybe we can do an ASMR podcast episode with just whispering.
Oh my god, that would be so amazeballs. We would just get so much views. No,
hell yeah.
And ironically, if people want that, please subscribe to Patreon. We'll do a SMI episode just for you lot. Just for you lot.
15 minutes just for shits and giggles.
Yeah,
That being said,
I shit you not. If we get 5-10 patrons, we'll do it. We'll do it. Just saying.
Quick question: how's my microphone now?
oh
Horrible.
God.
Horrible.
How does it sound? Horrible.
Horrible.
Will you stop eating it?
How does it?
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. See you on the next one.
Good night,
See you on the
everybody.
battlefield.